The Phoenix Suns are on their way to another great NBA season as they sit atop the league with the best record, 24-5. Now, they are also not getting talked about much. When we talk about the best teams in the league, a lot of people point to the Nets because they're like, oh, Kyrie is coming back. Well, if you didn't know, he's only coming back for away games. And even then, if he's away at the Staples Center or MSG, he can't play. People also talk about the Warriors when Stephen Curry has had some of the most streaky games of his career. Literally last night, he started the game like 5 for 14, and he picked it up to where he's shooting like 45% from the field. But a lot of the games before that, he did have those games where he was shooting like 30%, 20% from the field, around those range. So I don't expect his resiliency to be this good because he wasn't this streaky last year. That's just frankly how it was, even though he probably had less depth and less team help. People also talk about the Bucks maybe being the best team in the league because Giannis is still so great and resilient. And people also might say that, the Lakers have a chance to be the best team in the league because of all the star power they have, even if it's not gelling currently. But the Phoenix Suns are the best team in the league. Now, it shouldn't be that hard of a take for me to say this, but people will really take it out and just think it's not right. The Phoenix Suns are by far, to me, the best team in the league. Let's get into it. After coming off a finals appearance last year, the Phoenix Suns, they have to just rebound. Look, that finals loss was pretty embarrassing, going up 2-0 and then losing 4 straight to the Bucks with some of the worst performances in Suns history in that finals. It felt bad, and I felt bad for them. And, well, they're stepping it up. Right now, they are at a better point in this season than they were last season. And right now, to me, they are the clear best team in the league. I think that they can go to the finals this year and maybe even win the championship. I think also that getting to the finals for them won't be that difficult at all. The three-point shot holds so much weight to the NBA and success. If you look at past success, some of the best teams ever had a great three-point shot. If we look at the Warriors, with or without Kevin Durant, why they were so great was because once they got hot from three, there's no coming back. The three-point shot is so important, and the Suns are doing it great this year. Mikal Bridges is shooting 41% from three on 3 attempts per game. Booker is shooting 41% from three on 6 attempts per game. Cam Johnson, 41% from three on 5 3-point attempts. And Landry Shamet shooting 39% from three on 5 3-point attempts per game. All 4 of those players are efficient, high-volume scoring 3-point shooters. That is vital to a team's success, and maybe why the Lakers aren't doing that well right now, or maybe the Nuggets, even though the Nuggets are the 5th seed. Now, Jay Crowder is also a wild card, because Jay Crowder has those games where he's like 5 for 7 from 3, and then he'll come out in the next game and shoot 2 for 10. This season, Jay Crowder shooting 36% from 3 on 6 3-point attempts per game, and a lot of that is because of his streakiness. He might be one of the most streaky 3-point shooters in NBA history from how I've seen him play. But nonetheless, their ability to shoot the 3 ball is very important to their team's success. This year, they are shooting 37% from 3, which is 4th in the NBA. But like I said, this high volume scoring 3-point shooting leads to success. We can talk about the Warriors, but let's just talk about the 2020 playoffs. One of the most successful teams in the 2020 playoffs was the Denver Nuggets, and they shot 38% from 3 on 32 attempts per game. That is high volume, great 3-point shooting. The Miami Heat also got to the finals. They shot above league average at 36% on 35 attempts per game. And then we can also think about the Rockets. The Rockets with James Harden had such a great stretch in which they were always making the conference finals or just getting beat by the Warriors. And if they weren't getting beat by the Warriors, then they would have had a couple championships already. But one of their best attributes was 3-point shooting, and a lot of their success led up to it. So when you see this 3-point shooting in the Suns, they are the best 3-point shooting team in the league, and it doesn't drop off in the playoffs, at least from last year's playoffs. So this brings such great production and why they are the best team in the league. But let's put all the specifics behind us. Let's just look at the basics. The Suns have depth, and based out of all the top 7-8 teams in the West, they are deeper than everybody. This is the most deep team in the NBA. Depth is important to win in the regular season to make sure your star players don't get hurt, and depth is also important in the playoffs. Because if your depth doesn't go cold like their depth didn't go cold last year until the finals, then it's going to bring in a great playoff run. So people might be saying, depth doesn't win in the playoffs. Just look at the Milwaukee Bucks last year. They were not as deep as the Phoenix Suns, but they won. Or look at the LeBron Lakers in 2020. They weren't deep at all, but beat the Heat. Well, that's true. I do think star power wins in the playoffs, but the Phoenix Suns have it. The Phoenix Suns' top 3 players to me are Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and DeAndre Ayton. Maybe not in that order, definitely not in that order. I put Devin Booker first, but in the playoffs last year, they were pretty good. Chris Paul last year, per 75 possessions, averaged 21.3 points per game, 9.5 assists, 4 rebounds, shooting 50% from the field, 45% from 3, and 88% from the free throw line. Now, his true shooting percentage is kind of misleading. It's only a plus 0.9. It's just because he didn't take a high volume of free throws or 3-pointers. But Chris Paul was immaculate in the last year's playoffs, and he did do a great job closing out series like against the Nuggets and against the LA Clippers. Devin Booker, last playoffs. I know his true shooting percentage is negative, but he played pretty well. 26 points per game, 4 assists, 5 rebounds, shooting 45% from the field and 90% from the free throw line. Now look, I agree Devin Booker's 3-point shot is something you do not want to see in the playoffs. 32% from 3 on multiple attempts per game. That is not good, and that might hold back your team. But for his first playoff run, he had a really good playoff run. Dropping a 40-point double-double or triple-double, I don't know which one it was, against the Lakers to close out that series was great. And then, of course, DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton last playoff, 16.4 points per game, 12 rebounds, a block, 67% true shooting percentage, and shooting 66% from the field and 74% from the line. He is a big part in this Suns defense. And not only that, he's a star-level defender, of course, but also as a pick-and-roller, he's great. It might be Chris Paul, but Devin Booker also works with him in the pick and roll pretty well. He's a big part of the Suns having a diverse offense selection. Because if not, I mean, it's driving kick and 3-pointers if it's not with DeAndre Ayton. Because there aren't many rim pressurers out of DeAndre Ayton, maybe Mikal Bridges, and Devin Booker. So look, the Suns right now have the best record in the league. They're the deepest team in the league, and they have some of the best star power in the playoffs. They can go back to the finals and win a championship. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, do all that, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, come on, I got a bag on me. You try to take it, leave you stinking like your last homie. She kinda cakey, little baby, put that ass on me. But I ain't that horny, do you got some cash for me? Why every time you ask him that, bitches act funny. And you keep trying to hold the strap, you won't slap for me. You too happy, I can tell you never had money. Every time you get on live, gotta flash money.